Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a true nerd, and welcome to the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and oh, I'm so happy to be here today. I have been looking forward to this so much, because, okay, I will admit, my experience with the Elder Scrolls is a bit, back to front. Like, my first Elder Scrolls was Skyrim, one of my favourite games of all time. And then, more recently, I played Oblivion. Absolutely fell in love with it, and now, at long last, we've made our way back to Morrowind, considered by many to be Bethesda's masterpiece, a notoriously difficult RPG with no fast travel, no quest markers, a world where, if you want to get somewhere, you've got to listen to the instructions and then just get really bloody good at map reading. A game, in short, that treats you like an adult, and oh, I cannot wait to dive in and see how much this game is going to flipping destroy me, so oh, this is gonna be good. Each event is preceded by prophecy, but without the hero, there is no event. In the waning years of the Third Era of Tamriel, a prisoner born on a certain day to uncertain parents was sent under guard without explanation to Morrowind, ignorant of the role he was to play in that nation's history.
They have taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat, to the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name?
Okay, I appreciate a game that gets straight to the bloody point, so we don't have to, spend the first hour or two pretending I'm just some nobody before it turns out I'm the Chosen One. I'm the Chosen One right from minute zero. Brilliant. And yes, if you've watched me play mini-series before, you already know I do have a bit of a tradition when it comes to playing a new Bethesda game for the very first time, which is, my first character is always called Arya. Don't ask me why, I've literally been doing this so long, I can't even remember why I started doing it.
Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
Alright, so step 1, basic movement tutorial, and okay, this will probably come as a terrible shock to some of you, but as you can see from the mention of WSAD, I finally found a game that I'm not going to desperately try and shoehorn onto a controller, because it's just much easier with keyboard and mouse. So, okay, for once, I'm just going to accept that. So alright, I'll see you later, Jaya, but you're my favourite character for the time being, so okay, I do like your eye, by the way. Like, one glowing red eye, one with a giant scar. I do like a giant scar on my character, so, okay, I'll see you later. Have fun on this prison boat, or wherever we are precisely. So, on we flipping go. You're going a bit slowly for my taste, friend, so if we can just get around you. And okay, never mind. I'm not allowed to get around him. Dear, oh flippin' dear.
The sooner you leave, the sooner we can move on.
Okay, speaking of which, yeah, by the sounds of it, they're like, dumping me somewhere, then moving on to dump my friend Jayab somewhere else. So, okay, keep an eye out for Jayab if we run into, another port down the line or whatnot. For the time being, though, okay, out we go. Let's get to flipping adventuring. And yes, we just step outside nice and quick. Oh, yeah. Oh, flipping yeah. Morrowind is, despite being over 20 years old, pretty bloody nice to look at, I would say, though maybe a bit nicer than you're remembering, because, right, let's just cover this off right now. What you're seeing right now at the moment is the PC version of Morrowind that I got off Steam, okay? You could go and buy this right now. but I have made a couple of very, very modest changes through the magic of modding. Every mod I use is linked to in the description below, but yes, because I'm playing Morrowind for the very first time, I haven't changed anything about the gameplay, game balance, anything of that nature. All I've done is just slightly polished up the water and lighting and textures and whatnot. So, this is vanilla Morrowind precisely as it plays anywhere else, just a tiny bit prettier. And despite the convenient gap in the rail right here, okay, I can't actually just, make a jump for it and then swim for freedom, because I'm pretty sure they said they were already releasing me, actually. Hang on, let's just motion over to you, my friends.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where.
And here we flipping go, it's time to create a character, and, okay, I have put a lot of thought into this, because, okay, let's go over this step by step. My guiding principle going into this is, I am not going to be a stealth archer, okay? Every time I play an RPG, I always feel like, I want to play as a rogue. Backstabbing, archery, sneaking about, it just appeals to me for some reason. So, I am determined not to do this on this occasion. On the contrary, I want to focus on being a mage, because people have told me many, many times in Oblivion, when I was enjoying the ludicrous magic in that game, that yes, things get even more stupid in Morrowind. So, okay, you might be thinking straight away, right, I see what you're doing, John. You're thinking a Breton or High Elf, and no. You see, I don't just want to be a pure mage. I want to, focus on being a bit of a mage and a bit of a warrior, like a battle mage type character, and I think I figured out how to do this. This is genius, by the way. Probably not genius, it's probably a terrible idea, but, I went digging into this, and yes, best as I can tell, the race that you pick impacts a lot about your character's starting abilities. You can see skill bonuses on the right there. What the game isn't showing me, however, is attribute bonuses. Your base stats, those get modified by your race too, so I went and looked into these, and I noticed something really rather fun, which is, it's not just race that impacts those attributes. It's also sex. Male characters tend to be, a little bit better at, the more physical warrior type attributes, while female characters tend to skew a little bit more towards magic, and that got me to thinking. What if I was to play as a race that was typically thought of as, very much skewing towards fighting and whatnot, like the orc, but I play as a female orc, so my stats skew a tiny bit more towards magic, and, as I say, this is probably a terrible idea, but the moment this thought came into my head, I realised precisely who I wanted to be playing as, because suddenly I remembered one of my favourite characters in all of Oblivion. And that is the Orc Lord Rugdumph, who, if you don't remember him, was, yes, the Orcish lord who lived in a manor house and was so desperate to be a proper aristocrat that he spoke in this sort of posh gibberish. He was brilliant, I loved him.
Though I am replicant to spread rumors, I am led to believe the phylogeny of Skeletus beings makes them resistive to magic.
No, seriously, he was just the absolute best, so I've decided I'm going to be playing as his ancestor, because I will freely admit, I just lied to you a second ago. I'm not just playing as Arya on this occasion. My actual name is Arya Grow-Shurgak, distant ancestor of Lord Rugdumph Grow-Shurgak and his daughter, Lady Rogbutt Grow-Shurgak. So, yes, basically, that's what we're doing here. I am determined to be a fancy, sophisticated orc that's going to learn magic, wear fancy clothes, and build up a grand fortune that one day I can use to return to Cyrodiil and build a manor house somewhere, because I can't help but notice during the intro sequence, the game did say I was sent here by the Emperor from Cyrodiil. So I'm going to work under the assumption that, yes, the crime I committed was just wandering into town and trying to join the Mages Guild. At which point, I was immediately arrested for trespassing and, shipped off to Morrowind, which would appear to be like Tamriel, Australia. They're just shipping convicts here to get them out the way for some reason. I also deeply enjoy, by the way, that, yes, because we're quite a long way back in time, the character builder is, a bit limited. So, yes, in terms of faces, we've got you, then you, then you, and that's it. So that's 3 faces, because this is just, you know, turn the face around. That's not changing anything. So yeah, we've got 3 faces. And then in terms of hair, right, that's 2, 3, 4. Is that 5 there? So yes, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so with 3 faces and 5 hairdos, there are 15 possible female orcs in this game. That's literally all you can do, so, character creators have, you know, come quite a long way in the last 20 years. Brilliant. Anyway, I quite like these, you know, cheek tattoos or whatnot, and then we've got this lovely hairdo at the back, you know, ponytail tied up, etc, etc, so, yeah, you know what? This'll flippin' do for Arya Grow-Shurgak.
Great. I'm sure you'll fit right in. Follow me up to the office and they'll finish your release.
You know what? I do appreciate, with the benefit of hindsight, you know, how incredibly dramatic being released from prison has got over the course of this franchise. Like, you know, in this game, you literally open the game being told, hey, you're a prisoner, but don't worry, just fill out the paperwork and you can go. Then we get into, you know, Oblivion, where you're actually still in prison and get caught up in the Emperor's assassination. By the time we get to Skyrim, you've literally got your head on the executioner's block at the point where the King of Dragons shows up and burns down the prison by kicking off the apocalypse. So, okay, just like continuing that trend onwards. I mean, what on earth is going to happen at the start of Elder Scrolls 6?
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours.
Okay, so I'm basically, like, you know, entering myself into the local census right now. So, answer questions, generate class. That's like, you know, doing the GOAT in Fallout 3. Pick from a class list, so yes, all my, like, you know, tagged abilities will be preset according to, like, a group, or alternatively, fill out the forms myself, create a custom class, and that's what I want to do, because, as I say, I have put a lot of thought into this. I know precisely what Arya ought to be good at, and when I say ought to be, again, not really played this game before, so I'm about to make some really terrible decisions. But as far as I can tell, yes. Like, the basic system for character building seems to be very similar in Morrowind to how I remember it in Oblivion. So, yeah, rather than just like, yes, was it 7 skills that were your main skills in Oblivion? Yeah, in Morrowind we got 5 major and 5 minor, and if I've understood this right, yes, the leveling system seems to work pretty much the same way as it did in Oblivion, which is, these are the skills which 1, start off better, 2, level up faster, and 3 are the only ones that count towards leveling up. So, okay, let's figure out what we're going to be doing here. Because number 1, I am most definitely not an adventurer. As I say, I want to learn how to be a mage. Like, I see Arya as someone who's basically, like, you know, run away from her orc camp, seeking a better life, and all she wants to do is flipping learn. So I'm going to put her down as, yes, an apprentice, because, you know, even once we start getting better at magic, we're always going to be keen to learn more. And speaking of which, okay, specialization. This is going to be like, you know, combat and magic or sneakiness, and, yeah. Orcs already are pretty good at fighting, so I'm going to say, yeah, my specialization should instead be magic. Favorite attribute, so these are like my primary statistics, like special in Fallout, so, okay. I feel like we should probably go for one that focuses on magic, and one that focuses on physical combat, which the game's already kindly done for me, but I think I'll trade out, yeah, strength for agility, which is, yes, about accuracy, because that's what this game's all about. Like, you know, it's way less focus on how much damage you're doing, and more on whether you can hit your target at all. I'm going to say, yeah, agility, so I can actually hit people with my attacks, and intelligence, so I've got, yes, more magicka, so I can actually cast more spells. Next up, major and minor skills, so okay. Step 1, I would like to just, you know, have a couple of skills dedicated to being good at day-to-day smashing. I run into someone on the road, I want to be able to actually do some damage to them, and I'm tempted by blunt. I just feel like, you know, an orc should really be using blunt weapons. a hammer, a mace, a staff apparently. It feels like, there's good variety going on here. So, step 1, blunt weapons. And step the next, I do enjoy, just some classic sword and board stuff, okay? Though when I say sword and board, like wooden plank and board, like board and board, basically. That just feels like a good, solid start to me. So, yeah, blunt weapons and block right up front. But then we're gonna turn our attention to a little bit of magic here. Because, yes, we also need some nice core magical skills. And I'm gonna say, step 1, destruction. Just absolute classic magical ability so that I can explode people if they annoy me. And then after that, some more magical support perhaps. So I'm going to say restoration because 1, bit of healing strikes me as a good thing to be good at. And 2, yes, there we flipping go, augmenting my own stats. Like that got silly in Oblivion. So yeah, let's take some restoration here as well. And number 5, okay. Something a little bit different, which is my best friend from Oblivion. Obviously, I'm not leaving out the ability to jump really, really high, because, oh yeah, acrobatics was just hilarious in Oblivion, and I will never not take it. Acrobatics is too amusing not to take. Those are my major skills. Minor ones, yes, I'm not going to be so good at, but I will still have, a little bit of aptitude in that direction. In this case, we're going to be, yes, mainly focused on magic, so I have no idea, what most of these do or what they're good at, so I'm just going to pick, schools of magic I really enjoyed in previous Elder Scrolls games, and by previous I mean future, because, once again, back to front. So okay, in both Skyrim and Oblivion, Conjuration was hilariously good fun. We should definitely be taking that one. Illusion. I love illusion magic in Skyrim. Illusion is brilliant. Let's get that done. And next up, okay, enchanting. Enchanting in Skyrim is really, really bloody powerful, and enchanted items in Oblivion were comically strong too. Let's get some enchantment in play. Next up, moving back over to combat, because, okay, this is probably a bad idea, because I'm sure the official Morrowind meta or what have you is to focus entirely on just one type of weapon skill, but I can't help but notice Spear appears to exist. And spears don't exist as, an independent weapon class in Oblivion or Skyrim. So I'm taking Spear just because spears are new to me and I want to try them. And then finally, this one's a bit of a gamble. Because whenever you play a new Bethesda game, you always have to, make the guess. Is speech going to be incredibly important or completely bloody useless? In Morrowind, I have no idea, so I'm going to take Speechcraft as, a secondary skill, just to make sure I'm at least somewhat competent at it, because it does say there, listeners are more willing to divulge information. And that does sound important. Yes, in a game where, you need people to give you directions because there's no quest marker to just guide you there.
Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be?
Okay, birth signs, and bloody hell by the looks of it. Oh, there's quite a few. Okay, hang on, let me just read over these and see if I can find one that, suits me a bit. Okay, I can't deny the steed with a bonus to speed is pretty bloody tempting. But in the end, I think it has to be this. So, right. The Apprentice. Fortify maximum magicka, 1.5 times intelligence. So, yeah, this just means I get way more mana per point of intelligence. That strikes me as a good idea. The penalty is weakness to magic, but... Okay, maybe misremembering, but was my orc, already resistant to magic, so I kind of cancel out that penalty, because... Okay, if so, this seems like a good idea to me.
Interesting. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct.
Okay, the game's even giving me, a chance to, back down and change my mind, but... Okay, concerns me. They're my fatigue is up at 185, my magicka at 125, but my health is down at 47. The fact that number is way lower worries me. If I taken, no health or something, but then again... My endurance is 50. Though, oh. My personality is only 25. Possibly, yes, orcs aren't, like, you know, well liked in this bit of the world. Right, that might be a bit of a problem. Okay, you know what? It's probably fine. Let's just go. We'll figure it out as the adventure proceeds.
Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Alright, so I've now got papers that I can look at, etc, etc. There we go. Release identification. Spot on. So, right, that's me. That's all my details, etc, etc, and... okay, you may also notice, very, very quickly indeed, the font is a tiny bit more legible than it might be in the base game, and also it's a little bit larger, like the font size is not so comically tiny. Both things I have just changed with a tiny bit of modding. As I say, very light touch modding, nothing to worry about, so just take that, beautiful. I've also got myself a menu, marvellous, and... hello, sexy. Is that a shield? Is that a really big shield you've got over there? Okay. That's... guys, would you mind if I, like, just helped myself to, I was about to say, like, some weapons and whatnot, but... there's nothing in here, but just, you know, that shield. I mean, I just said I was good at shields. Would you mind if I just took that one shield? Also, hang on. What about the rest of it? I probably can't. No, I can't open that. I did specifically just tell this guy I can't do lockpicking, so... okay, just try and, like, get down and... no, there we go. Is that my crouching? I feel like I barely even tried to crouch there. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that's a half-hearted crouch aria. Dear flippin' dear. I mean, bare minimum. It's worth a fair bit. And, like... it's not marked as stealing. Like, it would be marked in red if this was stealing, presumably. So, okay, just... hide behind the chair. Grab that.
What do you think you're doing?
Okay. I feel like they weren't keen about that, though. Okay, no, seriously. If that was stealing, I feel like that should have been, like, marked in red or something, but okay. What are you doing? We'll let your actions go for now. Once you're released, stuff like that will get you arrested again. And tragically, I didn't get to keep that shield, which is a shame because, you know, I kind of wanted that, though. John, that wasn't a shield, was it? It was just on a shelf of tableware, and it said platter. That was... I'm so sorry I just tried to steal your nice plates. I thought it was like, you know, a big Roman tower shield. Like, you know, I did just tell you I was all about blocking, so this is an embarrassing start right here. I've really humiliated myself in front of the Imperials. Also, I can't deny, I do rather like that your menu isn't just a series of tabs that you go between, but instead, like, windows. So, if I want to, I can just say, hey, I'd like this window to be a bit larger so I could see my character a bit better and whatnot. And do you literally dress yourself by, like, you know, clicking on things and then putting them on and off again? Sorry, I'm just stripping in front of the Imperials now. They're probably judging me. I've made a bad first impression. Okay, probably best we, like, you know, move on. Now we've, you know, slightly upset these guys and whatnot. Sorry about that, by the way. As I say, I just thought it was a shield. Okay, I was just trying to find a shield. So instead, you should learn how to do combat, pick up the dagger on the table, activate it with spacebar. You say that, but I tried to pick up something in there and they jumped on me immediately. Like, I feel like this is just entrapment. I'm going to pick this up and 3 Imperials are going to jump out from those baskets. Okay, on this occasion, the game did tell me to do this, so, right. This is an iron dagger, it's a short blade, it's one-handed, so, okay. This is not a weapon I'm going to be very good at using. So, grab you, set you, beautiful, tap F to bring you out, and, yes, as I understand it, okay. The sort of attack you do is a function of your movement. So that's like a... is that a swing or a chop? Hang on, hang on. That'll be a chop. If I'm moving side to side, that's a slash. If I'm going in, that's a thrust. Though for a dagger, that doesn't really make much difference. Like, basically, they do very similar damage. Thrust is ever so slightly better, though. So, right. I have now got a weapon. Okay, just put the knife away before the Imperials get the wrong idea. Alright, we do not want to be causing huge amounts of trouble during, you know, the tutorial, prologue-y character building section. Though, Triskar, don't think I've forgotten our wager. I want this dagger sharp as a scamp's claw by tomorrow. Gantiel. So, okay, I am definitely just stealing that dagger. So, maybe just put that away so they don't see that. So, on we go. Keep on keeping on. You've now got a map menu, shows you the name of the place you are and your current facing. Right, so I've got a little map down there, a proper, oh blimey, proper big map up here. That could be, you know, much smaller up here, out the way, that's fine. And much more importantly, hang on, barrel right here, an engraved ring of healing. I'll be taking an engraved ring of healing, actually, though, okay, restore health 1 to 5 points on self. Tiny bit underwhelming, to be honest, because, yeah, like, if it rolls a 1, it's like 2% of my health meter. You know what? It's better than nothing. I'll be having that, thank you. We could put that on immediately. So, okay, I can either, yes, have my weapon out, or go over to use that magical McAjibbly-Jibble, which I shouldn't be using because, yes, it's got limited charge, and my health is currently full. So, okay, you're either casting magic, or you're stabbing. You can't, like, you know, have a weapon in one hand, magic in the other. You've got to change between the two. Gotcha. So, press spacebar to speak to the captain. Select topics to ask about. Don't try persuasion on him. If you're no good at it, he will start to dislike you. Okay, when you say you don't try persuasion on him, I mean, I think I'm, like, somewhat good at persuasion, which I need to be because my personality is apparently, like, terrible. I'm just, you know, a bad person that everybody hates. But once they get to know me, they might come around to me a bit. So, is this going to be a problem, by the way? 25 feels very low for personality. So, right, no, seriously, John. Knife away, 'cause you literally stole it, possibly from a hem. And, okay. Presumably, yes, this is disposition up here. So if I try and admire him... Not with you, no. I don't know what I just asked him, but I'd like to think it was, you know, some sort of flirt, and he just immediately shut that down. Can I possibly succeed at this? No. Keep it up if you want to make me mad. Okay. So, maybe don't try that again. You're not very good at it, and it's possible at some point he will start stabbing you. Okay, don't worry about that. It's fine. So, right. Let me take your identification papers. Thank you. Word of your arrival only reached me yesterday. I'm Celis Gravius, but my background is not important. You say that, but I want to know, my friend. Me and you, we can be buddies. So, okay, he's a Knight of the Imperial Legion. Well, la-di-da. Not least as, I don't recall anyone, you know, in Oblivion or Skyrim ever mentioning Knights of the Imperial Legion. So, right, maybe you guys don't exist in the future. I'm not sure. Anyway, yes, Morrowind, where you just, like, dumped me after I was arrested for trespassing in Cyrodiil. So, yes, you're in Morrowind, and I don't know why you're here, or why you were released from prison and shipped here, but your authorization comes directly from Emperor Uriel Septim VII himself. And I don't need to know any more than that. When you leave this office, you're a free man. But before you go, I have instructions on your duties. Instructions from the Emperor, so pay careful attention. So, okay. Words in blue I can click on, and then yeah, that generates additional topics. This package came with news of your arrival. You'll take it to Caius Cosades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for him. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal in your name. So, I've now got money. Brilliant. Though, okay. Tell me about this Caius chappie. So, right, this guy doesn't know where he is, just that he's in the town of Balmora. Balmora is north of Seyda-Neen. The road passes the village of Plagiad and Fort Plagiad. It crosses a deep ravine, passes a Fort Moonmoth, then turns west across the Odai River and into Balmora. Okay, as I say, no quest markers, you've just got to follow directions in this game. Brilliant, so I am not going to remember all of that. And then, okay, the Corner Club, southeast of Balmora, don't worry about that, but... For more detailed directions, talk to Alone the Scout at Aryl's Trade House here in Seyda-Neen. So, right, someone could give me better instructions, though this guy wants me to take a Silt Strider. That's like, you know, a taxi, like a fantasy taxi, if you will. So, we might do that in future, but generally, I don't like to, you know, do that straight away. I like to walk between towns on foot so I don't miss cool stuff on the road. Especially as Silt Striders are apparently giant insects. and the driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissue. I feel like I might also have, like, a bit of a moral objection to Silt Striders. Like, that sounds kind of nightmarish, actually. Well, that seems to be all this guy's got for me, so in which case, out we go into town. And he was just saying, yes, I'm now a free man, so... right, I can review my journal to remind myself what I'm supposed to be doing. Check out the trade house on the left. You're on your own now. Good luck. So, that's, literally all the guidance I get. That's it. As I say, this game treats you like an adult, damn it. So, right. The game just mentioned a trade house. That'll be one of these buildings, and I just got given some money. So presumably, the sensible thing for me to do would be, yes, go and buy equipment that matches my abilities, like a blunt weapon, a shield, some spells, etc, etc. Okay, before we get into that, yes, we need to find the trade hub and also just to figure out what's going on round here. So, excuse me, sir. Come back here, you. Hello, Fargoth. Lovely to meet you. You are hideously ugly, but then again, so am I. So, you know what? We can be friends. Are you the one the boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at this time of day. Hope the Imperials treated you okay. I swear they took my ring. Right. So, funny thing about the ring. Okay. This guy will probably pay good money for his ring. And I can use that to, like, buy restoration spells that will be better than his ring. Because I was just saying, like, the ring does not seem that good. The ring has got limited charge, though. Is that ring recharging its charge? Because I swear, like, the little black and red meter down the bottom left there, showing how much charge the weapon's got left. I swear that was emptier than that a second ago. So, right, something to look into, but as I'm a restoration specialist, I am going to say, you, sir, may have this ring. And, oh, blimey, his disposition just, went up a lot. So, okay. You found it amazing. Thank you, thank you. You're now my favourite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Aril, who runs the trade house. Right. Higher disposition means better prices, right? That logically makes sense. I'm going to try and admire Fargoth because I feel like me and him... Right. I don't think that's appropriate. Once again, I don't know what I'm saying to these people, but I imagine I'm basically flirting with them, and they all hate it. Like, every time I try flirting, everyone seems to despise me a bit more. Maybe just don't try and do that again, because, yes, like, I'm kind of undoing all the good work I just did by giving him his family ring back. Instead, okay. We've got a bunch of, like, you know, generic things I could just ask him. So we'll see if, like, you know, any of that is particularly of note. I hear the local tax collector, Processus Vitellius, is missing. No surprise, really, he wasn't well liked around here. So, right, we've got things to explore before we hit the road. I've got to get myself properly kitted out. There's a missing tax collector, which may be relevant for some reason. And yes, the guy was saying, get better instructions from, what was the name? Alone the Scout in the trade house. Oh, and speaking of reputation and whatnot, right. Don't expect the natives to take you right away. Colonists like us, outlanders, settlers from the other provinces, will be more open and friendly at the start. So, right. The Dunmer or Dark Elves, they might be a bit, yes, sniffy about an orc wandering about. People who aren't Dark Elves, they might be a bit more open to me.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to find it.
Right, I was just warned the Dark Elves might not like me very much, so I'm guessing, yeah, you start off at 37 on disposition. I'm gonna try and admire you, okay, and wow, dropped all the way down to 12. Might need to, like, you know, practice my persuasion a bit. Then again, the only way to actually practice my persuasion is by presumably doing it, so gonna try again. Please stop this. Please stop this. We're at 0 out of 100. She about to pull out a knife and attack me. I'm so sorry. I'll just leave you alone. So, okay, that's just somebody's house right over there. Hang on. Is this a pub by any chance? So, oh, that's the trade house, but that's the back door. So we don't go in there. That would suggest, yeah, the trade house front door is probably... Here we go. Aril's trade house. Right, in we go, and yes, by the sounds of it, Errol, if that's you, there we go, you, sir, should be rather fond of me. So welcome to the trade house. I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of beautiful spells for sale. No credit, want some advice, that's free, and that's all that's free. Step 1 probably is going to bartering here, because bare minimum, yeah, I need some proper weapons, so what's good in terms of blunt? Okay, there's a staff here, but honestly I'm a bit underwhelmed by, yeah, the numbers are 456. Iron Mace looks pretty good, so yeah, that can do up to 12 damage, and as I understand it, that's not like a damage roll, that's like how long you charge the weapon. So if you just, like, you know, spam the button over and over again, it's going to do, like, 1. But if I hold to, like, you know, fully charge up the attack, it goes up to 12. So that feels like, you know, not bad as a starting point, though, I mean, I'll freely admit, the long blade has definitely got some better numbers on it, but okay, don't worry about that. We are going to find a good... Ooh. I mean, there's a spear. Iron spear and... Hang on, why are you... Right. They're the same thing, but slightly different quality. Like, this one is, yeah, stronger, but it's got less condition to it. This one is, yeah, made a bit tougher, but won't do so much damage, so okay. Not all weapons of the same type are created equal. I might find, you know, a much better Iron Mace down the line, and, okay, bare minimum, condition is good, right, so I can keep using it for longer. Like, maybe, yeah, bladed weapons lose their edge, represented by having a lower condition. So, right, blunt weapons might, you know, keep going longer. And then we've got down here. Okay, that's an axe, but, ooh. Iron Warhammer. Up to 28 cocky damage. Though, okay, John, please try and remember, you've not got much money, and also, all these spears are two-handed, which isn't really ideal. I want a one-handed spear, so I can, like, you know, be an Orcish hoplite. But he's only got two-handed. Okay, as a starting point, yeah, I'm going to take the rather powerful-looking Iron Warhammer, because, yeah, as a blunt weapon, just one, by the way, one is fine. Yeah, that should be absolutely a-okay, but that does mean, yeah, I can't use a shield for now, because, presumably, yeah, I need one arm free for a shield. And unfortunately, yeah, pretty much the only armor I can afford would be light armor, and I'm pretty sure I saw my character started off a bit better with medium or heavy. Okay, I think I can get away with, like, one pair of iron greaves. Yeah, that pretty much clears me out right there. So, I've got a giant hammer and some steel trousers. That's it. That's what we're kicking off with. Oh, and speaking of which... Okay, here's interesting. If you want to live to a ripe old age, buy a weapon and as much armor as you can wear and still run from trouble, and buy a spell or two, and practice your skills, but don't practice on citizens. We call that murder, we don't like it. You could kill smugglers and bandits and other outlaws all you like. They've got no rights, and plenty of adventurers make a living from killing and looting outlaws. So, yeah. Why buy armor when I could just go take it off the corpses of my enemies? And speaking of which, that smuggler scum down in Adamazatus, for instance. The cave down near the Silt Strider. So, right. There's a couple of lovely sexy smugglers that we could take out. Beautiful. Okay, activate very tough pants. Beautiful. Hand over giant... We did just say two-handed. Okay, now you're just showing off, Aria. The fact you're doing that with one hand, it should definitely be with two hands, but whatever. Oh, here's fun, by the way. So, apparently I already know some magic. So, right, I must start with some spells. I missed this. So, okay. Fire Bite, I just bite someone, and then they take fire damage because I've got, like, you know, incredibly hot teeth or something. Or Half Heal. So, right. That's actually, wow. That's a lot of healing. That's basically my entire health bar in one go. That's not bad at all. Though do bear in mind, okay, it's got a cost in terms of magicka and a chance to succeed. So I can fail spells potentially. The Firebite's probably going to work. The heal might not. There's just, you know, a 1 in 10 or so chance I will just fail to heal myself. Okay, let's, you know, practice this before we nip into bandit territory, so hang on. I did see the Macajibble. There we go. That's the Silt Strider. They said cave nearby to that. So we'll get back to town in just a second. My athletics just went up. Right, so just by walking around, I'm like, you know, doing things. Is that a cave, by the way? Oh, hang on. Okay, so jumping is definitely a lot faster than walking, though be aware, yeah, that eats into my stamina meter, the green down in the bottom left there, and as I understand it, that's not something you want to be empty, because, yeah, it affects your chance to hit, because in this game, everything's about chance to hit, so, okay, before we go into the bandit McGibble, no, seriously, this is supposed to be, there we go, we put the second hand on it when we actually swing it, so, yeah, if I just go like swing, 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 this is not going to do much. But if I properly hold down the button and wait till I'm like, you know, right at the top, then swing, if I get the hit, it's going to do way more damage. So, okay. We'll get back to that in just a second, because I need to find, yeah, some, like, local creatures. There we go. There's something over there. Just like, you know, a crab. Probably a mud crab or something. Just need to, yeah, make sure I understand how this all works here. So, walk up to him, whack him with my whacking stick, and then see how that works out. Though, I feel bad about this. He just went to sleep. Okay, you don't get murdered. You're not asleep. You do. So, right. My agility is sort of okay. My blunt weapon skill is sort of okay. My fatigue is sort of okay. So let's see what that means in terms of, yeah, like, chance to hit. So you, sir, Mr. Mudcrab, and... Right! We hit you, and you're dead, so that's good. Though then again, his, like, you know, agility might be very poor. Down you go into right miss. And he hit me. And, okay, so... Definitely can miss. Might have been a bit lucky with that first crab. In fact, now we're just missing each other. There we go, so right. That was missing a few in a row. But now, I was about to say, yeah, now I could just heal myself, presumably, assuming the spell works. And there we go. But, why was the chance to succeed? Oh. Is everything a function of fatigue? Yes. If I've got a full fatigue meter, I've got a good chance of doing, like, everything, including casting spells. So, if my fatigue's really low, I'm going to be missing with my attacks, and I can't cast magic. So, right. Items that boost my fatigue up. That might be, you know, a good idea. I mean, if nothing else, we can start, you know, picking a few bits and pieces dotted about. Because, yeah, possibly restore fatigue potions could be very, very useful. And, right, here's another mod I installed, by the way, which is in the base game of Morrowind. Yeah, when you try and pick something... What you're picking is just a container, and it's a bit silly. So, I've installed, yes, a little mod for harvesting. That means I actually, like, you know, pick something when I'm picking it. Same as you would do in, say, Oblivion or Skyrim. Like, my chance of picking things is the same as it would be in the base game, just I literally pick them. So, yes, we can just get ourselves a few bits and pieces. This is all going to be absolutely a-okay. Help myself to some mushrooms and whatnot. Beautiful. These are probably, like, you know, useful for some reason. So just grab all of you, buddy. Marvelous, because... Okay, so a guy just fell out of the sky, I guess. Are you okay? Hang on, I'm just going to put my hammer away for a second, because... Right, hello there, Tar Heel. Iron Spark Sword. So, right, he's got an enchanted sword, but that's a bloody long blade. You don't need a long blade. You need an enchanted plank of wood. This is no good at all, Tar Heel. Still bare minimum. He's got a fancy hat and... Oh! I mean, I was just saying. I want to be like, you know, fancy and extravagant and learn magic and whatnot. This guy's wearing a fancy mage gear and... Fortify acrobatics by 1,000 for 7 seconds on self. Right. So, Icarian. Like Icarus. Oh, this is not going to end well. Like, okay, just take all of this. This is all fine. Like, bare minimum, we could definitely, you know, enjoy this lovely new gown and whatnot. Beautiful. And hang on, he was also sitting on his own journal. So, right. Using this new spell, I'll be able to travel great distances without the need to pay others for the service. Like how while I'm reading this, his corpse is literally flopped off to one side. This is good. So, right. Right. Now, I appreciate this has gone wrong for him and it's about to go wrong for me. But by the end of this game, I intend to perfect this spell. I will be able to jump across the entire map. Okay, step 1. The game said, go to Balmora, which is to the north of me. Okay, this should be the correct orientation, so okay, just cycle through to this scroll, get out my magic casting abilities, cast the spell, and now we jump! And oh, blimey, okay, this... I feel like this is going to end badly for me. Oh, hang on, I think that might be right, I think I made it too! For those of you who were betting it was going to take me 45 episodes to make it to Balmora, you've lost that bet. I made it in episode 1, just very briefly. Here's fun, by the way. There's a dispose of corpse button, so, you know what? I'm going to work under the assumption that for introducing me to the wonderful idea of boosting my acrobatics by 1,000, Tahil has just given me a brand new purpose in life. So, rest in peace, Tahil. I'm now going to give you a proper burial. It was a very quick burial, but like, you know, I've got stuff to do. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. It's time to put together a proper suit of armor, pick up some more weapons. Bloody hell, this game is actually quite pretty. That's actually gorgeous, in fact. Yes, put together a proper suit of armor, which we're going to do by murdering some idiot smugglers next door. So, okay, round the corner to, yeah, that cave I just saw. Just to verify this is the correct cave for a second here. So, yeah, just mosey up to the door here. Adam Azartus, yes, that was it. So, okay. I have got a plan, which is, as an orc, I have a one special ability up my sleeve. Berserk. So, right. This is going to give me Fortify health at 20 points for 60 seconds, great. Fortifies my fatigue by 200 points, which is brilliant. Fortifies my attack by 100 points, so basically, yeah, I'm just going to be way better at everything. The downside is, my agility is also going to be down 100 points. Meaning, yeah, agility is not just my chance to hit, it's also my chance to dodge. So, right, basically, while I'm under the effect of Berserk for 60 seconds, I can beat the hell out of everybody. But everybody can beat the hell out of me too. Oh, that's hilarious, actually. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to rest for 1 hour, purely so I can get my, yes, like, there we go. My fatigue comes straight back, my magic comes back a little bit. That regenerates a tiny bit over time, as does my health, but way slower than fatigue. So, I've now got a full fatigue meter. When I go into that cave, as soon as I see someone, I activate Berserk. And then, I've got 60 seconds to finish clearing out the cave. Okay, in we go. I've dropped a coward save, because this is probably going to go wrong. So, right. Hello there. And me and you are going to have trouble, or we're going to have trouble. So, right, activate thing. Then activate this. And now, excuse me, ow! She knocked me over. Oh, that's no, stop knocking me. I've got a problem. I've got a slight issue with my plan, which is, yes, we've got a flipping. Hang on, no, there we go, hang on. She's knocking me over before I can swing my weapon. This is, I've made a bit of a miscalculation here. She's almost dead, but okay, I can take her down, but right, now I need to go to, okay, I've got like no ability to flipping, actually, yes, hang on, just do that quickly, then go back over to my hammer. This has gone horribly wrong, but it's all fine, I've got my health back. Right, keep on keeping on. I've got to find these people, and I've got to take them down before they murder me, so okay, just, John, Poking is not what you want to do. That's what you want to do. There we go. Poke. No, poke is bad. Down you go. Oh, he almost killed me. He almost... No. Let's just do some healing and... I feel like this plan can work. Right, step inside, activate Berserk, go back over to my thing, yeah, fully charge up my hammer, and as soon as you come in, there we go. She just knocks me straight down. I've got no ability to resist. Oh, this is a problem. This is, excuse me. Okay, just hammering the basic attack is fine. That's okay. Don't do a full charge. We don't need a full charge. I need to get it over here. Keep on keeping on. I need to take these people out, and maybe I could use jumping to get on top of them faster. So, yeah, go. No. Go. And go. Oh, that's you dead. Good. Right, more people over here. Excuse me, and you're going to try and do magic. No, you're tossing, like, things at me. You're tossing weapons or something, but... Oh, this is working surprisingly. Oh, yes. Oh, my Berserk is working very well. You're dead, by the way. Well, there's a chest here, but there's nothing in it. Well, that's bloody disappointing. Right, well, That's definitely money. John, you should probably, like, you know, check everyone else before you actually go on a... Throwing stars. I'm immediately regretting saying that I didn't want to be a stealth character. Because I didn't know they were cooking a throwing stars. Now I want to be a stealth character again. Right, keep on keeping on. How much longer do I have till Berserk wears off? And I think Berserk did just wear off. And as a result, I've lost all of the fatigue I had. Right, when Berserk wears off, you can literally fall to the ground because now you've got negative fatigue. Hang on, do I have any, like, food I could eat or something? I've got some jerky. I'm just gonna eat some jerky and see if that does anything. Jerky has no effect on me. Marvellous. Okay, if I rest 1 hour in this cave, are they all dead already? Like, if I just rest. There we go. I can now actually get up again. Good. Right, get over to my healing spell. I need to get my health back, please. Assuming that, there we go, that does work. So, okay, I've got my health back. I've got my stamina back, and I need to loot these corpses before they potentially, like, disappear. So, we've got bits and pieces. Common robes. Ooh, proper leather boots. And back to the woman at the front door. So, right, she's the one who had the key. Good. Take the money, all the rest of that. And hang about. I see an old gate here, but presumably I've got the key and... hello there, I've just rescued you. You're welcome. So there we go. Bardargo is free. You are a good friend of Bardargo. So, right, you owe me something back in town, my friends. Also, I may have just saved these people from quite a worrying fate, in fact, because there's a scroll here for soul trapping for 60 seconds, and also a soul jam. Right, you guys might have been, you know, about to be in a lot of cocky trouble, actually. And a whole bunch of useful ingredients, too. So, right, grab all of that. We've got a torch, which might potentially be of use. Good. Okay, free stuff. I love free stuff, including, ooh, skooma. I probably shouldn't do skooma. Like, skooma's probably bad. But I'm kind of curious, like, you know, precisely what it does. Right, weapons away. Can I actually make it deeper into this cave, by any chance? Because I'm a bit on the slow side, I'll admit. But, hang about. There's someone down here. Iron saber. I'll be having that. One fishing pole. Basket and... John, maybe make it up to the surface. So, hang on. Just top up my breath here. Okay, few more. Oh, hang on. Is this where you were keeping... 4 gold. You know what? It's better than nothing. Okay, back in town, and most people, by the looks of it, have gone to bed, given it's now night. But, okay. I'm gonna regret this, but I am now very curious what precisely skooma does. So, okay. I've done some skooma. Now, that means... okay, agility goes down, intelligence goes down, speed and strength goes up. Okay, just out of interest. If I like to... another skooma, then... oh. You can stack more than one thing. on top of itself. So, currently my intelligence is 0, meaning I have 0 magicka. And my agility is 0, meaning my fatigue's basically gone. But my strength and speed have been boosted twice. So, if I had like 100 skooma... Right, I see what people are talking about when they say this game has the capacity to become truly, truly broken. Gotcha, because I am most definitely feeling a big old increase in speed all of a sudden. Right, brilliant. Though the problem is, hang on, with my agility currently at 0, that presumably means, hang on, I, like, can't really hit this crab. Is it functionally impossible? Oh, with no fatigue and agility. Oh, I'm just being constantly perma-staggered by... Okay, hang on, I've made a mistake. Although, hang on. Hang on. I was just, you know, trying to get away from that crab and... Wait a second, buddy. I think I just saw something over here. There's a corpse on the edge of town. Now, by any chance, would you be... Processus! Right, you're the missing tax collector, including... Ooh. Well, it's a good day to be Aria. And alright, I now know who's paid their taxes, who hasn't, etc, and this might also be useful for, you know, figuring out who's worth robbing. After all, apparently, Thorin Gilnith has got, like, 225 drakes outstanding that he never paid to the taxman. So, that also kind of makes him the prime suspect, I won't deny. Right, I've decided I'm just going to, not mention that to anybody, because if I don't... Well, that's just my money now. Brilliant. Still, having made it back to town, I would say, how about we call it a part there? But this here, of course, is just the beginning of our adventure, because this is the start of our brand new series, and... Right, coming up next time on a Friday, because yes, this is going to be our Tuesday and Friday series, as usual, I'd say we need to go to the trade house, find that scout to get some detailed directions to get us to Balmorra. Because it turns out, yes, going directly by air might not necessarily be a particularly good idea. So, right, probably best we hit the road and mosey round in that direction. So hopefully you join me next time for that. But in the meantime... I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the wonderful Morrowind. Thank you very much, and goodbye. So okay, I've been outwitted by a butterfly, and beaten up by a fish.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I didn't steal anything! I'm sorry, I touched the shoes while I was shoe shopping! Okay, I feel like I may have just, walked in on something. What about this person? Can we talk to this person?